Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Jo number PDL-100-613. This is a pocket door passage set is what this is. This is not a privacy at all. So it's just a passage set. Where you would use a passage version of this, possibly between, let's say, a kitchen and a dining room, two doors that really do not require any privacy whatsoever. And the PDL pocket door lock is going to give you the combination face pulls, flush pulls so that you can move the door, obviously, and then the edge pull as well to pull it out of the pocket. Is what that's for. Now, the 100 part of the part number infers specifically this is the passage version of this rather than the privacy version, which would be a 101. The 613 is meant to infer oil-rubbed bronze. The color of this hardware is what this manufacturer calls oil-rubbed bronze. It's certainly very complementary to oil-rubbed bronze, and I would argue that the edge of this is actually closer to what oil-rubbed bronze can look like and does look like, rather than the face, this powder-coated face that they have happening here. Jo uses the term oil-rubbed bronze a little too loose, is the fact of the matter, and does not really describe what they're doing, meaning they're saying that this is 613 finish, and that means that it's made of brass base material, but that it also has an oil rub finish. This may be brass base material, I don't know, but that's not oil rub. That's some sort of powder coat finish. Keep in mind when looking at oil rub bronze from Jo, especially in their door reinforcing plates, they're not oil rub bronze. They're a powder coat finish, complementary to oil rubbed. So keep that in mind. You can see the finish here. It's a bit darker. It's not black. You know, the top of my desk, which you really can't see, this cover is black. Not the same, but it's not proper to call that oil rub bronze, is the moral of the story. If you're looking for something complementary, this will be a great fit, no doubt. Now, it will include the screws that you need for attaching the material. It actually includes screws for a privacy function as well. This package has got the two long screws for the body, for here and here, but it also has two short screws and then a pin. The short screws would be for a strike plate that you wouldn't use for a passage. And then the pin, because there's no thumb turn privacy hook that comes in and out, there's no reason to tie the two pieces together via a pin. So you'll just use the two longer screws. The installation instructions are also included. Regarding the screw length, you know, you're going to want to use the shorter screws most likely, because the length of the longer screws is almost an inch. So certainly the shorter screws would be likely a better option for installing the lock so that the screws don't hit each other. Installation instructions are going to be included. They are linked to down below this video that you can pull up and review. Speaking of those documents, there's a template, which is a dimensional drawing of the item, and let's go over that first. You can see that this item is 2 3/4 tall, and that it is 2.5 inch overall width, that this will work on an 1 3/8 door, but this also should work, actually no it won't, this is only for an 1 3/8 door, I believe. No, you'd be able to make this work on an 1 3/4 door as well. Certainly. There's some overlap of the design here between the outer plate and the backing plate where the edge pull is part of. You'll be able to loosen these machine screws to telescope those plates out a bit and fit it onto an 1 3/4 thick door. The rest of the dimensions are there. Will give you everything that you need to know about the location of the screws and the size of the edge pull itself. which actually they do not give. that edge pull area. It's about 1 inch wide and about 2 1/4 inch tall. Okay. Available in lots of different finishes. 605 for polished brass, 609 for antique brass. This is what they call the 613 oil rubbed. 619 for satin nickel, 620 for antique nickel, 622 finish, I think that's black, 625 for polished chrome, 626 for satin chrome, and then a split finish, 605 on the outside and 625 polished chrome on the inside, polished brass by polished chrome. There was also a link to the product catalog as well, and let's pull that up. I want to take a look at okay, so the door preparation I want to confirm the 622 finish. I believe it's black. I've simply forgotten. Indeed, it's a matte black finish, like a US 19. Okay, so you can also get it in black. It's going to look awfully close to this, I'd imagine. The door preparation per the template, that's going to be 2 5/16 of 2 5/16 tall, and then be 1 7/8 deep. So, per the link to the installation instructions that are included, you're going to cut a square. You're going to cut a rectangular notch, 2 5/16 high, 1 7/8 deep, and then you're going to fit this over that preparation. You're going to pre-drill holes for the screws and then simply attach. That's all you do. Obviously, you're going to modify the exact throat opening thickness of what the lock can handle by equally unthreading those screws so that you can telescope that out just a little bit, then tighten them down to basically clamp it over the edge of the door. The installation instructions obviously go through the process of working the unit for a privacy set as well, which is the steps, you know, the bottom 2/3 basically is what you'd have to contend with. We'll work on 1 3/4 doors, either the privacy or the passage. If this was a privacy set, that longer pin would allow the 2 cams, when you rotate the thumb turn, the 2 bird's mouth preparations of their tail pieces, the pin goes between the 2 so that you can communicate from the thumb turn on the inside to the emergency release on the outside, and maybe more importantly, that emergency release on the outside to be able to unlock that preparation, that hook on the edge of the door controlled by the thumb turn on the inside. So the installation instructions are there. How you're going to prep that, you know, I would really like to use a router in all instances. You know, if I had a template, I'd clamp it onto the door and I'd run my router into that prep, making multiple passes, increasing the depth of the bit, and then I would just square out the corners as required, but I don't believe they're really going to be a lot of corner squaring will be required on that at all to get this to fit over. So that's how I would do it. Hammer and chisel, that would be dreadful. It would take quite a long time. If you can, you know, if you don't have a router, you're obviously not going to go buy one to do one lock prep. But if you've got multiple doors to do, it'd be certainly worth it to make a template and then to have an inexpensive router to do this job. You've got to have the bit though. You're going to need to be able to get all the way down through the thickness of the door, certainly as well. And then back to that product catalog that's there, that will allow you to review all of the door accessory hardware from Don Jo: hooks, door viewers, a variety of remodelers kits and plates, door guards, elbow catches, coat hooks, things of that nature, window locks, other edge pulls that are part of it. Then finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Don Jo products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. So if you have any questions on the Don Jo, their part number PDL-100 in a 613 finish, oil rub bronze, or any other Don Jo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.